So in this screencast, we're looking for the next 5 or 6 minutes at one more word problem. Here's at the top of page 129. This is number 13. And it says Warren has 40 coins that all add up to $4.05. Now, Matthew pointed out the way that I've written up this equation, he said, Coach Morgan, you've written 405, not 4.05. There's two options that you guys have with these word problems that involve money, okay? Your option is to work with it in terms of dollars or to work with it in terms of cents. So here's how it would look in blue. I'll write up how it would look in terms of dollars. 0.05 N plus 0.1 D plus 0.25 Q equals 4.05. There's no difference whatsoever in either of those two equations. Which one would you feel more comfortable working with? I find the top one to be more comfortable. What's not good is if students want to mix and match and use cents on the left and dollars on the right. That we cannot do, okay? So the way I would recommend working these problems is I would leave it in terms of cents. That way we can avoid the decimals. And now my job is to go through and to figure out how to replace 2 out of those 3 variables, okay? Because obviously we can't solve an equation when it's just in terms of 3 variables. We need to be able to express, let's say, N and D both in terms of Q. So I could hopefully erase N and erase D and have those expressions in terms of Q. So I've got one big fat equation now just in terms of one variable, okay? So we need to read further into the problem, don't we? Okay? We need to read further into the problem. So here's N, here's D. Now it says he has 7 more nickels than dimes. So D is the same thing as N plus 7? Or is it D plus 7 equals N? Which one would you choose for that expression? I'll read it again. He has 7 more nickels than dimes. What do you think, Campbell? Pardon me? The second one, Matthew? Second one? Y'all both agree? You're both correct. Good. 7 more nickels than dimes. Now, if you think about it, that's very easy to get confused if you're reading something like that. Because, I mean, look at what it says. 7 more nickels. So that looks like N plus 7. That looks like what I've got written up there at the top. But think about it from a perspective of which one is less and which one is more. Okay? It says he's got 7 more nickels. Sorry about that. We've got to use this second equation because the amount that is less is the dimes. The smaller amount here is the dimes, so that's why we would add. It says he has 7 more nickels than he does dimes. So nickels being more, we would have to add 7. Now look at what I can do. I can swap out, instead of N, I could plug in that expression D plus 7, right? Instead of N, I could say 5 times D plus 7, and I'm now well on my way to having one equation in terms of one variable. Okay, see how that works? So just by using that expression right there, instead of N, I've got D plus 7. Now I've taken it down from 3 variables, and it's only in terms of 2 variables. Okay? Grady.
So you replace the N with D plus 7 because D plus 7 equals how many
nickels there are. I replaced the N with D plus 7 because it said the number of nickels is the same as 7 plus the number of dimes. Now, there's one final piece of the puzzle here, and that's the fact that it says there's 40 coins in all. Okay, there's 40 coins in all. So that means the number of nickels plus the number of dimes plus the number of quarters equals 40. Did you hear how I phrased that? Look, the number of nickels, which we formerly known as N, now being written as D plus 7, the number of nickels plus the number of dimes plus the number of quarters equals 40. Okay? I really would like to solve for Q here. So D plus D is 2D. What could I do to get Q by itself? What could you, quote, move over to the other side, Robert? All right, let's subtract 7 from both sides. 33. And last but not least, what would you do to get Q by itself, Jacob? What else could you, quote, move to the other side? 2D. So let's subtract 2D from both sides. Good. And so Q now, check that out. Q is the same thing as what? 33 minus 2D. So we could swap out Q and we could have one nice, neat equation. 5 times the quantity D plus 7 plus 10D plus 25, not 25Q, but 25 times that new expression equals 405. And then that's an equation, I want to just say, since we're out of time, dot, 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 that's an equation that I would expect everybody to be able to solve out. And when you solve it out, you get D equals some number, and that would be the number of dimes that he had. Okay, so that's all the time we have for this screencast. We'll meet again in class next time and discuss some more of these word problems. Thank you.